Intermittent fasting is such an amazing tool for multiple reasons. However, there are still a few of you that might not be doing it in the most efficient, effective way. So today we are going to be discussing the top 6 mistakes that I have seen from both my clients and just people sharing their journey of intermittent fasting. So let's hop right into it. But if you do like this video, please remember to subscribe to my channel and you will get other nutrition videos as well as home workout routines. Okay, so the first thing that I see all the time is that people say they're doing intermittent fasting, they're shortening their eating window, they're doing a 16-hour fast with an 8-hour eating window. However, instead of eating 2 to 3 meals within that short little block of time, they are consuming 5, 6, 7 mini meals within that block of time. So the problem with this is that we are doing intermittent fasting for multiple reasons. One being minimizing the opportunities of spiking insulin. So when we eat, I don't care how healthy it is. I don't care if you are on a ketogenic plan doing intermittent fasting, you are still spiking insulin through the digestive enzymes when we eat, when we chew. Just the process alone, not having anything to do with the glycemic index of the foods that you choose, you are having a slight insulin spike. When we are in the presence of insulin, we cannot burn fat efficiently. So that's why we want to minimize those opportunities of having insulin being a factor in our weight loss journey and our wellness journey. Okay, so what I suggest is always 2 to 3 larger meals in that 8-hour block. Not everyone does the 16-8 method, and so that's completely fine, but that is one of the common mistakes that I do see, is that there's multiple meals going on, and that's counterproductive to the mission at hand. Okay, so number 2, not enough nutrient dense foods. And this just means that calorically high foods are your higher fats, your healthy fats. And a lot of times when you have been fasting for a long period of time, you're obviously craving foods, you're hungry, you want to eat. So a lot of times we go for the foods that are yummy and they're not so calorically dense, or, we're going for the foods that are probably not the best choices, and we know that we're going to have our salad, but we're going to wait at the end of the meal to have the salad or the vegetables. But I'm going to have my burger, and I'm going to have my bread, and I'm going to have all the yummy foods first that I've been craving, and then I'll save that for the end of the meal. But your stomach has shrunk because you've been fasting, so you can't really eat as much food, especially if you've been eating less nutrient dense foods, so like a bigger bulk of food but with less caloric value. So that's why when you eat fats, healthier fats, that lasts you longer and it fills you up so much more than if you're consuming carbohydrates, because remember, 4 calories per 1 gram of carbs, and the same goes for protein, and you have 9 calories per gram of fat. So that's why I always tell my clients, the last meal that you eat in that day, you want to make it higher protein, higher fat, lower carb. That way you're not starving the next day and you're not ready for your first meal before you should be eating it, which is usually about noon for a lot of my clients. But if you're eating a high carb meal, even if it's lower calorie, high carb meal, or even if it's the same calories, it doesn't matter. It's not going to hold you over as long. So you're going to wake up the next morning, you're going to be starving, and you're probably not understanding why. So that's a little trick of the trade. Increase your fat the night before, and it's going to hold you over longer the next day. Creamers, number 3. Now, I went back and forth between putting collagen with the creamers, because collagen is something that a lot of people now use as their creamer, which is amazing. Collagen is a great supplement. But creamers, even if you're using just a little bit, sometimes we don't realize how, we think we're using a little bit, but we're really using a lot. So at the end of the day, fasting is fasting. If you can be tight on it and you don't have anything outside of black coffee, black tea, regular plain tea, That's the best way to ensure that you're really getting the most out of your journey here with intermittent fasting. But if you're someone, like a lot of my clients, they're like, that's miserable to me, then I tell them a splash of unsweetened vanilla almond milk, a pinch of stevia, but no more. Okay, so there's mixed studies out there. Every body is a little different, but the best way of going about it is just to ixnay it all together if you can. BCAAs, branched chain amino acids, that is going to kick you out of your fast. And I didn't say that with the creamers. You can, not during your fast. So you can have it with your first meal. You know, if you're a coffee drinker like I am, after my first meal, I do coffee at the end. That's fine if you do a little creamer at that point, but not during your fast when you wake up in the morning. Same thing goes with the BCAAs, the collagen. I just had a client the other day, and she, just in passing, we were talking, and she's like, wait a second, I can't have my collagen with my coffee in the morning? That kicks me out of my fast? I'm like, absolutely, because there's calories. It's the digestive process is happening. Your body is going in that digestive mode, so you don't want to have a metabolic response. Okay, so that's what we're trying to avoid. Number 5, artificial sweeteners. This is a biggie too. A lot of people are like, ooh, you know, I'm drinking all the liquids, I'm doing diet this, I'm doing diet that, I'm chewing gum because that holds me over until my first meal. I'm going to tell you right now, if you're not doing the pure gum or the Glee, those are 2 naturally sweetened, but I believe it's with stevia. Those are great options when you're fasting, but if you're doing something with artificial sweetener, it's going to kick you out. It's going to have that insulin spike or response, I should say. And then the last thing, doing it too long. So if you would like me to link the video that I did on this whole topic of when to know, when to switch it up, when to stop doing every day intermittent fasting, when to, you know, take time away. How long should you do it? All of that. I've done a video there, but the name of the game is switching it up. You don't want your body to get used to this deprivation state 7 days a week, you know, 365. You should never be doing an intermittent fasting plan day in and day out, months on end. You need to switch it up at times. So hopefully this was helpful. And if you have any questions, drop them in the comments. And sharing is caring. As always, I'm very grateful for your, you know, input, and any suggestions on future videos, let me know. But have a great day.